So, good morning, everyone, and good day. And I'm quite happy to be back here and sitting here and continuing where we left off from a week ago on Monday. And the topic still is patience, and hopefully you've been patient to wait for the continuation of this. So, in a certain way, when we meditate, we don't accept the status quo. In a certain way, we don't just sit and just allow things to be as they are. And the certain way in which we don't do that, there's many ways, different depending on the meditation technique and all kinds of things. But the certain way with mindfulness is that we always continue with the mindfulness practice. We always keep a steadiness, coming back to it, being mindful again, being mindful again. And that makes a world of difference. To accept the status quo is to not be mindful. And one way that for some of you, a simple way to maintain the continuity, to keep coming back to mindfulness, not drift off in thought, is on every exhale, could be inhale if you prefer, that every exhale you recognize whether or not you've started to think again. And just that mindfulness of thinking, it might be enough not for you not to be caught in it or drift off in it. If you want, you could also let go of it at that point. Recognize your thinking and let go of it. Every time in the cycle. So it only goes a couple of seconds between a recognition of thinking and letting go. There is, it can be quite, thinking can be in some ways quite clever in camouflaging itself, or or pulling us into its world so we don't know or recognize that we're thinking. And but the clear recognition, I'm thinking again, thinking. And to do it on such a regular basis, patiently, steadily, practice coming back to mindfulness every exhale. And that every exhale of a moment of mindfulness, that kind of clarity, is where the steady, slow, patient approach to mindfulness occurs. Not looking for, some big experience, but just being content and patient with showing up and waking up to this. Here, there's thinking. So, assuming a comfortable, alert posture, and relaxing your gaze. If you're looking at the screen, maybe looking down at maybe a 45-degree angle, and see if the eyes can be a little bit more at rest. And then to gently, if it's comfortable for you, nice, you can gently close your eyes. And then to establish a stronger connection to the present moment through your body, taking a few long, slow, deep breaths. Deep enough so you feel your rib cages stretch as they expand. Or you feel the ballooning out of your belly in that deep exhale. And with a long inhale and a long exhale, so ballooning out of the belly as you inhale. And then with the exhale, releasing, relaxing. softening, letting the breathing return to normal, and taking a few moments in the silence to relax your body. Maybe each time you exhale, relax some part of your body. Release the holding. And then, from within your body, as part of your bodily experience, become aware of the body breathing. Wherever the breathing is most comfortable for you to experience, or where it's clearest, so easiest to connect to. Could be the movements of the belly, the movements of the chest, the sensations of the air going in and out through the nostrils, or some broad, whole body experience of breathing. And as you exhale, at the end of the exhale, perhaps you can relax a bit or release a teeny bit more. So there's a slight continuation of the exhale, or perhaps a ever so slight pause before you inhale. And whenever it's time to inhale, quietly, attentively, receive the inhale. Receive the movement, sensations of the body as you inhale. And as you exhale, allow the exhale, allow the release. And every time you exhale, notice if you've been thinking. If you have, you might very gently whisper to yourself, thinking, as a clear recognition. And if it's easy enough to let go of your thoughts during the exhale, let them go. So there's a letting go into the quiet and stillness at the end of the exhale. So you can better receive the inhale. And remembering at every exhale, recognizing if thinking has returned. And if it's easy enough, let go of it. If it's not easy enough, be ready to recognize that you're thinking again when you exhale next time. Perhaps being a little bit more attentive so that you can notice if you've begun thinking on the exhale, and if you're able to let go of your thoughts by the end of the exhale. To be attentive to how thoughts begin, how they creep in on the inhale, and watching this phenomena from a quiet place within, unperturbed, undisturbed by it, but clearly recognizing And then as we come to the end of this sitting, to appreciate that if you can recognize that you're thinking, you might recognize the ways you're thinking that are not so accurate. The projections you have on people and events, the interpretations, perhaps even the bias. And if you're also able to let go of your thoughts, or to put them aside enough to see clearly without the filter of your thinking, then it's possible to be present for people, to be companions for people, be friends with people more fully, more clearly. And this is a gift. And may it be that our ability to be mindful supports our ability to be friends with others, to see them clearly, to have the ability to be present without the pull and the tug of our desires and aversions and interpretations. May it be that this practice that we do helps us to engage in the world in a kinder, friendlier, supportive way. And in that way, when we dedicate the merit, maybe we're more likely to be the conduit in which the merit travels out into the world. So whatever benefit and merit we've had from this practice, this together, may we dedicate it to the welfare and happiness of all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. And may all beings everywhere be free. So, hello and welcome to the continuation of our little series on patience. And today's topic is another form of patience called patience, or I call it gentle perseverance. Perseverance is just the small little ongoing step by step by step of engagement, involvement, doing. And the gentle is to do it without strain, without strife, without resistance, just kind of the simple steps, keep going. And in this way, it's sometimes helpful to appreciate that in the Buddha's teaching, that action was extremely important. That even his teaching sometimes is called a teaching of action. And that means a variety of different things. But one of the things that I like to think of it is that it is not a passive practice. Even though for a lot of modern Western practitioners who are over-striving, overdoing, over-analyzing, over-critical of themselves, that the lesson of kind of just letting things be and not doing is such a powerful and useful medicine. But it's the medicine. For the Buddha, I think that for him, that there's an element in which the practice is always an activity of a little bit of a kind of doing, but a doing which is an undoing of stress and strain and tension and criticism and, striving. But it is a kind of doing. And sitting in meditation, mindfulness can be experienced as a non-doing, just allowing awareness to be there. But even that is a very subtle doing, because chances are we have to keep coming back to allowing, to receiving, to being. And that's the doing, that's the action. And so whatever the action there's a very simple action in practice. So today in the meditation I suggested the action of every time you exhale, noticing if you're thinking. And if it's easy enough to let go of those thoughts. And so there's always a little bit something, waking up, being present, being here for the next thing, And so there's a little engagement, a little effort and work that's involved. As we get familiar with mindfulness, that work is often better than the alternative. What the mind does and what the spinning off in. And so this amazing capacity we have for gentle perseverance, just keep doing the practice. In other walks of life, other situations in life, sometimes perseverance, doing it over and over again, being willing to fail and coming back and starting over again, can be a huge strength, a huge support for a wise life, a good life. So this gentle perseverance is useful in so many areas in life. But in practice, gentle perseverance, not to be looking for the big dramatic experiences in meditation, but being very content and patient with a simple ongoing practice, moment by moment. Just showing up and being mindful of this, being present for this, here, now. And or in a little bit larger scale, meditating every day. Gentle perseverance of every day, no matter what, sitting down to meditate. And even if it's nothing more than getting into your meditation posture for a minute, every day, this gentle perseverance of touching into this wonderful kind of repository or special place where a certain kind of special attention and calm and settledness can be. So we keep doing, and it's this gentle perseverance in practice in a day-to-day, ordinary way. It's represented or enacted in small little steps, small little things we do. Just being a little bit more attentive, more present, coming back more often. But small little steps can make huge difference into the future. One of the, if you take two parallel lines, they would go parallel on forever. But if you take and nudge one of them a little bit to the side, then initially, just infinitesimal, you might not see that they're separating from each other. But as you, over time, the distance between them becomes greater and greater and greater. So if you make sometimes a small change, and keep up the small change, that can, over time, can make a huge difference for our life. and can transform it in beneficial ways. And so this gentle perseverance, not giving up, not being discouraged, or maybe being discouraged, but have the patience to do it anyway. Just keep showing up to sit, to meditate. Keep showing up to be present for the next moment. And this very much applies to meditation practice. Maybe that's the place where it's most, it's easiest, or the most kind of the ideal place to practice this gentle perseverance. Just keep coming back for the next breath. This breath, this breath, this breath. Sometimes we have all these issues and problems and difficult things that happen in our lives. And there's something about the continuity, the ballast, of the grounding, the sense of stability, that just being with the breath through it all, that allows so many things to settle. It allows us not to get wrapped up in other things or be reactive to other things. And so, not to deny anything, but the gentle perseverance with the breathing, with the breathing, with the breathing. Or the gentle perseverance of being mindful, attentive, recognizing, oh, this is happening, this is happening. My mind is afraid, my mind is afraid. There's fear, there's fear. And in that little recognition, it might be actively even those words in your mind, where you follow up the words with just feeling and sensing what's happening more fully, perhaps. That in those simple mindfulness, you begin finding that you're not wrapped up in it, or caught by it, or impacted as fully by the fear or the anxiety or the desire, whatever it might be. Just to keep steady, recognizing that this is what's happening, this is what's happening. And so this gentle perseverance in Buddhist practice can take many forms. It could be a gentle perseverance of not giving in to anger, just one act of speech after another. Just, okay, I'm not going to say it now. I'm not going to say this now. Not now. Not now. And to say I'm no longer going to be angry. No longer say some kind of mean things to anyone ever again. When we make these big commitments or big ideas, sometimes it's much harder for the mind to cooperate and participate. But sometimes it's the moment-to-moment steps where we can it really counts the most. And so, not saying that, not saying that mean word. Nope. Gentle perseverance. Or a strong desire arises. And nope, I'm not giving in to that. I know what happens. This is not healthy for me or good for others. Nope. And a gentle perseverance is repeating it over and over again until something settles. The whole thing shifts. And so it's not a big struggle. It's not meant to be a big a wrestling match. It's just like, because it's just these little steps, moment by moment. Now. So to be patient with if we're doing things which are useful and healthy and appropriate and necessary, to persevere, to not resist, not procrastinate, not give up, but just get steady, gentle steadiness, just showing up. And for me, I don't know how it is for some of you, but this word, idea of gentleness, it implies that it doesn't require heroic effort always, or strong effort, or it just move in that direction. Don't hesitate. Don't give up. Just take a little move in that direction. Keep doing it. And certainly in Buddhist practice and meditation practice, probably gentle perseverance carries the day, because any other effort that you make probably is agitating, probably will not really be sustainable in the long term. But the gentle perseverance, it maybe is sustainable, engaging, maybe becomes self-rewarding, and maybe begins to shift that line just a little bit, so that over time it makes a huge difference in your life. Maybe you don't see it in one day or 1 week or 1 month, but the gentle perseverance, gentle continuity, just doing and doing and doing, it can be revolutionary in one's life. So, gentle perseverance, gentle, and what we persevere in depends on the context we're in. Gentle forgiveness, gentle kindness, compassion, just whatever is needed. Gentle, keep doing it, so we don't succumb, don't collapse into states of mind and thoughts and ideas which are not really helpful for us. And finally, I'll say that the alternative sometimes, the continuity, the perseverance of distracted thought, of aversive thoughts, of desirous thoughts, of selfish thoughts, of thoughts that, victim thoughts, the perseverance of those, they also have an effect over time, and slowly and perceptibly the parallel lines move in a different direction that may be not so useful. So it's very helpful to be careful with what the mind does regularly and continuously, because it really has a big effect over time. And so once you have a sense of what practice is and what a wise and wholesome way of living is, the gentle perseverance, gentle step by step, ordinary movement in the direction of what's wholesome and good. And it can be done, and it can make a huge difference. So thank you very much, and tomorrow we'll do patience under insult, which is a much more difficult one, but it has its tremendous benefit. So thank you.